Learning to cope with being an empty nester, especially if you're a single mom or dad, can really be difficult. I mean, it's very challenging and it's very emotional. And no matter how much you plan for it, it never really prepares you for the feelings and the emotions that you're going to have once your child has moved out. When I was 56, my youngest went off to college, and so we got everything situated. We packed the car. We drove an hour, a little over an hour. He went to Temple, and we live in the Philadelphia area, so it was a little over an hour's drive. So I was kind of grateful that he didn't go to college far away. I think honestly he wanted to stay closer to home anyhow. But so I got him situated in the dorm, and he met with his friends there, and he was very happy, and that made me happy. But then Mom got back in the car, and I'll tell you, I think I cried most of the way home because I missed him so much. And when I got back to the house and I walked in and there was no one there to greet me, I mean, it gives you that empty feeling that I don't think you're really even that prepared for. But it's a real thing, and we really have to learn to deal with it. It really is a difficult emotion, and it's a difficult time in our lives as parents when our youngest flies the coop and you're home, and if you're a single person, you're home alone by yourself. So part of the difficulty, I think, is because we have been taking care of these children all their lives, and we've been a big part of their life. We've nurtured them, we've helped them through difficult times, good times. We've taken them everywhere and anywhere they wanted to go, and they were our life. And now they're not in the house anymore, and they've moved on to the next chapter, and here we are left at home and trying to figure out how we're going to cope and what we're going to do. And of course we need to get back into our routine, but there's always that feeling, that empty feeling that really takes a long time to go away. And we're kind of grieving a loss. I mean, our child has grown up and left the house, and here we are on our own, and I think we need to recognize that we have certain feelings that we can't just push aside and not deal with. I really think it's important to deal with these feelings and to try and understand what feelings we actually are experiencing, because you might feel sad and lonely. You might feel frustrated and have a difficult time coping, and maybe with your relationships or at work, you get frustrated and anger easily. And you have to understand what is making you react this way. And I think the problem is mostly the feelings and emotions that we have once our child has left the house. I think part of our emotion has to do with the fact that our identity has changed, and we're no longer the mom who has raised this child and taking care of them, taking care of all of their needs, and suddenly they're out of the house, they're on their own, and they're becoming young adults. And we wonder, what are we going to do? And I think it's time for us to really start looking within and starting to feel and understand that we need to find things for ourselves now that give us purpose and meaning because what gave us purpose and meaning before with the raising of our children has shifted. And now it's more about us. And this can be, of course, a really great time. Now we have the time to focus more on ourselves and maybe pursue some things that we've always wanted to do. And so this should be and can be a really good time, I think. And this is all of these things I've experienced when my son left for college, and as I say, I came back to an empty house. It was difficult in the beginning, and I did have a hard time with it because we're very close. And, you know, I didn't experience this with my older son. The two boys are 10 years apart. So with my older son, he did go to college, but he moved out of the house and he took a job locally. So it wasn't like I felt the effects of an empty nester. But of course, with the youngest and the last one to leave, you know, you always have these feelings. So trying to look inward a little bit and to take care of yourself, it's very important. Another thing that helped me was just thinking about how happy my son was now. He was with his friends, he was in school and learning something that he wanted to learn. And this would eventually enable him to get a great job. You know, when your kids are happy, it makes you happy. And this was an experience that I felt. And any time I felt, you know, kind of down or lonely, I would just kind of think about him and remember that he was happy and he was having a good time. And it should make me happy too. Now, these are just some things that I've experienced that I thought I would share. You know, this time of year with the kids, maybe you have some college-age children and you're an empty nester. Or maybe you have children that are married and have children of their own, so you're a grandparent, and maybe they've moved away and you're feeling a little bit lonely. So try to understand what in particular is allowing you to feel this way, and I hope you'll be able to deal with it. It will take time. Try and focus a little bit more on yourself now because it's your time now. And if you've experienced anything like this, if you've gone through the empty nest syndrome and survived, I'd love it if you would share your thoughts in the comments below. And also I realize I did not introduce myself. My name is Susan, and on my channel, we talk about all things related to getting older and navigating life as we get older. So thank you for listening and watching, and I'll see you next week.